School districts throughout Rochester are battling a storm of unknowns. The federal health care bill, which is a repeal of the Affordable Care Act, is calling for $880 billion in cuts to Medicaid over the next 10 years. Why does that matter to public school districts? It ultimately affects services delivered to some of their most vulnerable students, those in special education. Susan Hetherington is the director of the University of Rochester's Strong Center for Developmental Disabilities. She stopped by the WXXI studios earlier this week to explain the potential implications of the health care bill when it comes to students. Susan, some people watching right now, they may not realize that there is a correlation between Medicaid and public schools. So can you just briefly explain that connection, in particular when it comes to special education?
Sure. In 1975, what's now called the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act was passed. It has never been fully funded, but it requires that we provide a free, appropriate public education to every student, including those with the most severe disabilities. So the connection is about 30 years ago, it was realized that IDEA is never going to be fully funded. When it was passed, they said it would be funded 40% by the federal government. It has never been. In 2015, it was 16%. That left the states reeling, because when it says you have to provide a free, appropriate public education, that's with all the services that are needed to provide that education. So about 30 years ago, Congress decided that Medicaid would reimburse school districts for health and allied services. And that's the relationship.
Perfect. So I want to share something with you. The Save Medicaid in Schools Coalition and its member organizations, including the School Superintendents Association, they sent a letter to lawmakers such as Paul Ryan and Chuck Schumer that was before the House vote on the health bill earlier in May. And a quote from the letter that I'd like to share. The American Health Care Act reneges on Medicaid's 50-plus year commitment to provide America's children with access to vital health care services that ensure they have adequate educational opportunities and can contribute to society. Susan, what does the American Health Care Act, as it stands right now, look in relation to Medicaid funding and reimbursements for special ed?
So I'm glad you said right now, because of course we don't know what it will end up looking like. So I will only talk about how the current AHCA looks. The issue is that $880 billion is going to be cut from Medicaid over 10 years. And a significant portion of the special ed services that are provided through Medicaid. Some of those services are speech therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy, nursing services, assistive technology, transportation. It really affects all parts of a child's life who needs those particular services. And those, of course, are the most vulnerable and complex children.
So if school districts, and correct me if I'm wrong with this, if school districts in the Rochester region and those around the country lose some of their Medicaid funding or reimbursements for special education services, which, as you said, they are required by law to deliver, who will have to bear the burden of these costs? Will states and local communities have to raise taxes? Or could some of these positions or services be cut? Do we have any idea? And I know we're looking at how it stands right now, so
Right.
I'll make sure that I emphasize that.
It's a little scary. Taxes could go up. Eligibility criteria could change. And most concerning is that services would be decreased because local entities, school districts, would have to provide those services if they are on the child's individualized educational plan. Those are legal documents, so those services have to be provided. So how are they going to be provided? Either the district pays for them through increased taxes, the state provides more funding, or there are fewer services. And I don't see any way that there wouldn't be fewer services as it stands now.
For people who, as you said, there's a long road ahead that still has to go before the Senate, and we have to see this implemented. So many questions, remain. But for viewers that are watching right now and they're questioning the implications of the bill for their own children, for family members in relation to special education who may receive some of these services, and they're concerned, what would you tell them?
Well, I would tell them to talk to their congresspeople and tell them the stories about their children. I think of a child that we work with, I'll call him Timmy, and he's 10 years old. He was born with cerebral palsy. He also has intellectual disabilities. He uses a wheelchair. He has a feeding tube. He gets services, great little kid. He gets services at home through Medicaid, and he gets services at school through Medicaid. He has to have accessible transportation. He needs assistive technology. He gets speech therapy and occupational therapy. At home, he gets nursing services, accessible construction in his home. So it's going to hurt those children in many ways. So we talk about special education, and that's absolutely true. But for the most vulnerable, it's going to hurt them across the board.
Susan Hetherington, thank you for your time.